But man, no, I again appreciate you being on here, brother. Definitely want you to talk about SouthPaw and how that got started. I know you said that you're fully in the entrepreneur lane. Like, what inspired you to get in the trading card game? And if you want to show us some of these dope ass cards too,
Yeah,
I want to check those out and understand like the value of them and how you decipher what's what. And like, I know that was a lot of questions, but
yeah, no,
starting off with how you started.
Yeah,
like,
we'll just get started from the beginning. Southpaw, means left-handed. Being left-handed, I formerly was a pitcher. I pitched at Michigan. I played baseball at Michigan. I was a left-handed pitcher. Yeah. So the term Southpaw, that's where I'm getting that from. And SouthPaw Slabs, these trading cards that we got on the table. Most people know trading cards. You can get them just in the raw form. It's just the card. You pull it out of a pack, or you get it at some point. It's probably in your basement. When you have them, you have the opportunity to send them in to be authenticated and graded based on the a couple different things about the card, the edges, the surface, whatever. What they're put in is called a slab. So these cards are all in slabs. So that's where SouthPaw Slabs came from.
Dope. Okay.
I although I haven't been involved in sports these last couple years, really since I stopped playing baseball. I've just been kind of on that corporate grind.
We be hooping though.
Yeah, we've been hooping, and I'll always be a basketball player, probably even more than a baseball player. But this was like one of my first ways in the last couple years to kind of get back into sports in a way that was also benefiting my investing itch. I was getting really interested once I started to make a little bit of extra income. I'm still a single guy, so I don't have a lot of responsibilities. So I'm really.
That's my favorite part about being single. You can just
do whatever,
kind of figure out like what's gonna work and what's not, because like you're not responsible for anybody else.
Yeah.
So
every mistake you make, you're the only person that has to feel those consequences.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of jumped down on a limb and started looking into these alternative investments, and that came after a couple of years. I know you were interested in stocks.
Yep.
And you're kind of deep in that game right now too, right?
Yep. Every day.
I just got really interested as I was learning about investing in stocks. It was less about like the details about how you make money and whatnot. It's look at these companies, and a lot of them they're companies that Adam and I had worked with, technology companies. And what are these companies doing? How they're changing the world? How are our customers, our clients, like how do people use this stuff? And it's not just the major companies you invest in. There's these new ones coming up that it's like, all right, if you
have a different angle, have a different lane.
Yeah, and it's just non-traditional, and trading cards, NFT, like these new types of alternative investments are becoming realer. I call them alternative so that kind of means they're real, but they're not really regulated or looked at as a normal investment. So anyways, I started investing in sports cards, both to bring me back into the world of sports and to use it as a key investment.
Yeah. When did you start getting into investing in cards?
It was probably 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
I probably had a bunch as a kid, but it wasn't like a hobby of mine. I wasn't a flipper, and I'm still not a flipper at heart. I'm learning that with cards and with NFTs, but I really just started in the last 2.5 years. I started hearing more about it. I was like, wait, I could get one of these for $100 or whatever they cost, and at some point, like they're gonna grow in value, or this Tom Brady card, or this Jordan, LeBron. Like you start looking at, and I start watching games now and looking at these players. Like, what's that young guy gonna be? Something like I like his game,
1,000%.
or LeBron's still in the league. All his cards are undervalued because he hasn't retired yet.
Right.
But wait, LeBron's gonna be, if not number one, like the number 2 best player of all time.
For sure.
It's like, all right, I'm gonna buy a bunch of LeBron cards.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of it just kind of spiraled into I've got probably over 600 cards now.
An empire.
Insane.
That's a great idea, man. Because in 10 years, obviously LeBron, we think will be done. So
you think,
but I don't know how much that will, how much that'll, I guess, be worth then, but you gotta imagine like maybe 5-10x something like
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah,
And that's
something like that.
that's a beautiful investment just to like have some side, and you have 600.
Yeah.
Wow.
They stretch along, mostly basketball,
Yeah.
probably majority basketball, then baseball, football, and then a bunch of other hockey, a few Pokemon, some women's basketball. Serena, I'll show you guys some of the random ones, but there's this whole I don't want to say game, but there's so many layers to trading cards and deciding what's rare, what's valuable. It's been wild.
See, that's what's super interesting, and that's kind of what stopped me from trading cards, because I did not know. Okay, like when you're talking about LeBron cards, like I don't know which card is good, like which manufacturer of the card is good. So I could think I have something like, yo, this is the rookie LeBron card, and be like, nah, that's not the Top Shop one or whatever it's called. Like, and so I was like, I don't really know how to value these, but it sounds like you got that worked out. Like,
that's still something I'm learning, but that is part of it, because trading cards were huge, have been huge for 50, 60, 70 years, but in like the mid 80s leading into the 90s, the licensing deals with these trading card companies, I don't know if they hadn't even been created or whatever. All these different card companies started creating their own cards and putting them out in massive. There was just way too much supply and not enough demand. It was like the midnight. They called the junk wax era, where there was just an overproduction of cards. So it took all the rarity out of it. There are a million Ken Griffey Jr. cards, and then like there were a lot of good athletes that came up in the 90s too, and it's hard to figure out which of their rookie cards is the best, but there are all these different manufacturers. Over the last couple years, over the last maybe decade, it's slimmed down where there are 2 or 3 main card Upper Deck, Topps.
Upper Deck was one.
Yes. Yeah, Upper Deck is primarily, they got a licensing deal with the NHL. So Upper Deck's the only people that can produce NHL players' cards, with their jersey on it, with the Red Wings jersey and logo, like the whole real deal. You'll see a lot of, I don't want to say knockoffs, but other companies that they got the players and they're playing their sport, but there's nothing written. It's
nothing licensed.
Yeah,
really. Okay,
like the old NCAA football games or basketball games where it's just like player 23.
Right.
It's just it's cool, but it's not.
That's not it. Right?
Yeah.